We also have joining us this session Ms. Shrishti Kukreja, co-founder, Gen E, Saji Varghese, founder of Sunbird Straws, and Wilma Rodrigues, who is Chief Transformation Officer at Saahas Zero Waste. This conversation is all about how much we can do to change the world and create a better environment, not just for us, but for generations to come. And to take this conversation forward, I'd like to hand the floor over to our moderator, Mr. Rajan BL. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, audience. Welcome. Good evening and welcome to the panel on Can Startups Save the World from a climate point of view. And thank you, Shrishti, Wilma and Saji joining us. Before going into the panel, I think most of the audience know everyone here, everyone on the panel. So we'll have a
5 times this, which means sustainability as a niche itself is going to grow. On the other hand, I don't need to say anything about the creator economy, right? It's already here, it's already buzzing, and it's already booming. What we do is we make sustainability relatable to people. So yes, at the face of it, we want to build a media brand that tells stories of sustainability and only focuses on sustainability. But what happens is media has a multiplier effect, which then becomes a movement. Now, we don't come from a space of activism, we come from a space of journalism, because both the founders, that's me and Femi, we have international newsroom experiences. So for us, our journalistic ethics are very important. So I think it can be a movement, but as of now, it's a media brand is what we are looking to build. The movement happens because of the multiplier effect. Yeah.
Thank you. So what percentage of Gen Zs are actually your viewers?
To be very honest, our viewers, a lot of it are millennials, because I think sustainability as a business is something that's very relatable to them. But going forward, we would want to target Gen Z. Our second audience base is Gen Z. With Gen Z, I think they're very eco-conscious nowadays. The only drawback being that they don't have many choices when it comes to sustainable products, mainly because, like you mentioned before to Sir as well, that it's a premium, it's seen as a niche, and it's not an option for them. But if Gen Z is given the option to purchase something at the same price point as something that's not eco-friendly, then they of course go for the eco-friendly option. Yeah, which is where I think storytelling comes in, and it's so important to spotlight the change makers or companies that are actually trying to make products that are more affordable for Gen Z.
Thanks, Shrishti. Wilma, I was watching your TED talk. You are mentioning about government regulation, actually how it helped. So I want to know what government regulation from the national perspective, if this regulation is implemented, that will 10x my impact. If there's something like that, would like to know.
So, we've got regulations.
Sorry.
We've got regulations in India for the last 25 years, very progressive regulations. And the best regulation that we've had in the last 10 years is what you call extended producer responsibility. And it is for plastic waste, for e-waste, etc. And it does put the responsibility a lot on producers, which is the big brands, industry, etc., and the consumers, so that the consumers pay for their consumption. But unfortunately, this has been not well accepted by industry. There's always that greenwashing that is taking place constantly. And unfortunately, we don't have adequate monitoring from the government side to make sure that that greenwashing does not happen. Now, if that were to take place, and people would actually pay for the conveniences that are actually destroying our planet, then we as an organization would definitely, be a very good investable company, and we would have the kind of revenues. Of course, we would be mindful of how we would use those revenues and the profitability. But, that's the kind of businesses that we really want to, that industry needs to support. It cannot be this linear system where you forget about planet and people.
Exactly. And Saji, I have a data, Coca-Cola uses 200,000 plastic bottles a minute. So let's say we are investing fully, you are fully invested and making these straws equal to that production of Coca-Cola. Okay. Is that possible? Is that at least remotely possible?
Maybe I'm not very sure about that number, but just to let you know that through our innovations, we now make straws from coconut leaves, from pineapple leaves, from pandanus leaves. So what I'm trying to say is that we have enough raw material with which we can actually replace plastic straws with a very sustainable alternative. Then, as I said, we are having a very pragmatic approach of having a fine balance between technology upgradation and social impact. So, yeah, it is an audacious ambition to match up with the numbers that you have spoken about, but we can reach humongous numbers. And as I said, we want to make Sunbird straws the global brand of rural India, and we want to be not only in India, but in multiple geographies across the globe. So I won't commit to that numbers, but we can be quite substantially there replacing those single-use plastic straws.
Okay. Coming again to Saji, so in Tamil Nadu, we are not only tech startups, we are across domains. Okay, we have more number of startups in social impact, we have from climate tech, we have in every domain, agri or even tech. So to all the aspirants here, what do you suggest? How do you convince them to tell them that this is the time to get into climate tech?
This is definitely the best time. We were at Mass Challenge Switzerland, where we came to know that the next 45-50 years is for sustainable alternatives and startups that can provide real solutions for these. Have a great time. But at the same time, I want people to have a very pragmatic, again, a very realistic picture of it. Anything which is related to sustainability and marketing and manufacturing, it's a much longer journey than what a fintech or a deep tech company would do. So be ready for a 7 to 8 years of hustle. So it has to be a very realistic approach. It is a longer journey, but definitely one up for the grabs.
So continuing this question, Wilma, waste management has, it has existed for many centuries. And if startups are coming into waste management, let's say they are particular about waste management startups, will there be good investment opportunities for the VCs? Is it possible for VCs to find good investments and good investment pipeline?
Yeah, it depends on the VCs are also humans, people living on this planet, right? So they also have to work with us to save the planet, and that's what we would like now across the startup world, those working in the impact space, to push for investment but not dilute their mission. Just because VCs expect high profitability, we've been hearing that through the day, right? That profitability, growth, all of that. Really mindful of what we have done to this world and this planet on that account. And I think VCs are like every one of us, and I hope some of them are there in the audience as well, because really they need to look at being part of the solution for planet Earth.
Got it.
If we had like an EPR coming out and actually, walking the talk on producer responsibility, we would be able to deliver equally well. Yeah, so returns to the VCs would also be there accordingly. But this sector needs long-term patient capital, and P with a big capital. P for patience, because it cannot happen that you have returns in 2 and 3 years. It needs 20 years. Yeah.
So not just profits, patience and purpose. Thank you. And Shrishti, so India's the world's largest population. How do we make them climate leaders and not climate victims?
That's a great question. I think to make people climate leaders, we need to make climate relatable. I think which is where storytelling comes in. How many times do we see a Bollywood film where climate change is even spoken about in passing? It's not there. How many times do we see a Netflix series where there's no mention of climate change? It's very, very little, right? It's a very, very small number. Climate change or climate issues are not in our pop culture, and we need to start talking more about it, because the more we speak about it, the more it becomes a part of daily conversations, the more people start to take actions in their daily life that will help. So I think that's where storytelling comes in, and I think that's where Jenny wants to play a part, where we can help people become climate leaders or at least think a little bit about the climate by making it a part of pop culture. So this could not just mean like having 90-second vertical videos which are also very relatable to younger audiences, but going into documentaries, going into fictional films where probably Shah Rukh Khan is doing his pose in front of a melting glacier and we talk about it, right? So that should be, I think, the larger theme, and that's what Jenny aims to do. Yeah.
Since you mentioned Shah Rukh Khan, I have a question. Who will be your celebrity brand ambassador in case for your company?
I really like Dia Mirza. I'll be very honest. I think she is amazing at bringing out climate issues. So it would be her for me, yeah.
Of course, you are already a brand ambassador for your brand, I think, Jenny.
No, I think we could do with more. So Dia Mirza it is,
Wilma,
yeah.
who will be your celebrity ambassador if you must pick one?
I would like to perhaps have the CEO of an FMCG company. Yeah, because they have a lot of power, I would say, and good abilities to also talk to government. So I'd like to have the CEO of maybe one of the largest FMCG
I think
companies.
this video will reach. I hope this video will reach ITCs and HULs of the world. Saji, who is your celebrity ambassador sipping your straws?
No, I mean, we just happened to meet Dia Mirza. She felicitated us on the World Environment Day. So we will also be, in fact, struggling to get her as our celebrity.
So if you want Dia Mirza, you can have her. I'll take the Kamath brothers then.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So before taking 2 or 3 audience questions, I have quick 3 questions for everyone. So I'll start with Saji. It's a rapid fire. Describe Indian sustainability in 1 word.
Sorry?
Describe Indian sustainability in 1 word.
It's social equity as well.
Sorry?
Sustainability has to go with social equity.
Okay, okay. And you, Wilma?
I would say conscious consumption.
Okay. Yours?
Evolving space.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Shrishti, one Indian habit that accidentally saving the world.
I think just reusing everything that we have in our home. It's so intrinsically Indian and it's amazing.
Wilma, what do you think?
I would say our reduce habits. I mean, we are constantly looking at how to reduce. So reduce is a habit.
Reduces.
Yeah.
You, sir?
No, eating with bare hands was always...
Eating with balance. Yeah, that's great. So, Saji, one superpower you wish you had to fight climate change. One superpower you wish you had to fight climate change.
Yeah, replace all plastic straws in one go. So I cannot think beyond straws at this moment, yeah.
Wilma, what do you think?
I would talk of not having waste in the system anymore. So everything just goes into a cycle and a circle.
Okay.
For me, it would be changing the government minds so that at a policy level, we can make a very big impact, because I think that's where big impact lies, in policy.
Thank you. And I want audience to leave with one simple thing they can change from tonight. I always believe it's not that few people doing 100% perfect. It should be like 100% people doing something imperfectly. That will change the situation we are in now. So if such a thing you will, I won't say advise, you will suggest, so that we'll try to get better.
I think being minimal at everything that we do now, because we are very heavily consumerist. So if you can reduce that and be more minimal.
So go back. That's,
yeah.
Madam.
Home composting. This is something that everybody can do, especially middle class India. Kitchens today are, cooking with a lot of flair and fancy kind of equipment. Definitely. A composter can also be included in the infrastructure in every home. And imagine that would take care of 50% of our waste. So it's a large number.
Definitely, ma'am. Shrishti?
So every time you're at an e-commerce site and you add something to your cart, like wait for 24 hours. I think most of it is just a dopamine hit where you just have that feeling of, okay, I'm going to buy something, but you don't really need it. So I think because we all shop so much online nowadays, I think just put it in your cart, leave it there, don't purchase it till you've actually made an informed decision.
Yeah, my smartwatch purchase is still in my cart.
Good.
I haven't done it for the past 3 months actually.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And audience, if you have any questions, I can take one or two. Thank you, Shrishti. Thank you, Wilma.
Thank you,
Saji, thank you
everyone.
so much
Thank
for
you very
joining
much.
us.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Have a great evening.
Thank you very much. May we kindly call upon Mission Director and CEO of StartupTN to present mementos to our speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of food for thought in this conversation, and I think the biggest takeaway is that this is an ongoing conversation, something that we need to build on over a period of time, from conscious consumption to focusing on social impact, one person at a time. This particular session has been absolutely simplified for the benefit of all of us here, and the best takeaway would be to incorporate those changes, sometimes as minor as it comes, in our day-to-day lives. Thank you very much to our speakers and our moderator for driving this conversation. Alongside a lot of learning for the coming decades, like Ms. Wilma said, here's to a lot of unlearning as well that comes along with the moving forward of times. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for our panelists on stage and our moderator. With that, we step into our final conversation for the day.